Sorry.
All right. Okay, everybody, we're ready for the work session resolutions. We'll try to be good on our side comments from now on. I'll make it. Someone starts doing it this way. Interrupt us.
Stuff to teach old dog new tricks.
Okay, on the resolutions, the first one is the, we have the public hearing tonight for it. And then it's real simple, to approve local law number 5 to repeal local number 4. We want to do that one.
I'll do that one. Pat said she wanted to.
Patty. B is the Twin City ambulance contract extension. We have the public hearing tonight and we anticipate passing that. Who wants to read that one?
I'll read it.
Okay, C is a rebid on the AC at the library. Karen? And D, which you should have, attached.
I guess that's D for Dugan. Huh?
D
Yeah.
for Dugan is the refuge contract with Modern. We got an answer on the totes, you know, that they'll accept either size and what the price was.
And additionals, right?
Yeah.
Was that a part of that email?
49 something.
Yeah.
And
49 something.
you've been in touch with the village?
I have not heard from the village, so we may just want to indicate that it's subject to approval of myself and the village attorney, who we probably didn't indicate as well, subject to approval or a corresponding resolution from the village.
You gotta add that on the. What you're reading?
Yeah.
Do I need to?
I'll make a minor change on this.
D for Dugan.
What, two extra paragraphs?
Okay.
Bring it up.
It'll be like a junior event.
Okay, the other stuff under new business is a letter of restriction in the motion to approve the snow seekers request that they asked for.
I
Would
think that should also be subject to them providing.
They sent the insurance, but they sent the same thing they sent before, which doesn't include us.
Correct.
Did I get that correct? Right. I will email them in the morning, but subject to. Yeah, okay.
Were they late this year with this?
Oh, yeah, they're always August, September.
But this year is not August, September.
We just got it
That's what blew my mind.
last week. I think the snowstorm woke someone up. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, because you usually do this one.
And that's the only new business there. So going to work session. Planning, the noise law, I see Mr. Miller's back, so we should, his first day back after a week or so, so I didn't bother him. I know better than bother him the first day back. So I'll bug him this week and see what his time frame might be to get to you. To Emily, you might. Okay, water and sewer. Scott.
Yeah, so continue kind of good news here. So Knapp Road has passed its testing, so Indian Falls did previously. Knapp Road has passed. We've submitted the paperwork for Kirby today. So we should have all 3 water line extensions released and approved by CWA, I would expect by midweek. So with that, because Knapp has already been approved, they're going to do the interconnection with Knapp tomorrow. So that's good. They're
They're on their stuff.
on Knapp.
Yeah, let me just.
I think it's 6,
6 or 7.
6 and then 2 on, there's 8 total,
Okay.
6 on Knapp and 2 on Indian Falls, none on Kirby as of yet.
Easiest one.
But we'll see. So the idea here now is that with the interconnection, they still have 3 services to finalize. They're the far side services. So what that means is you've got to do a boring underneath Knapp Road to make those happen. So they're starting and working on those, but those will probably take them all week to get done. So timing question for you guys. once the interconnection's done, we could technically have these people hook up and start their water service with ECWA. The tricky part is that there's still 3 people who aren't connected because their services haven't been completed. Do we want to wait this week still to make sure there's no confusion about who can hook up and who can't? Or do you want me to try to, it's been a little bit tricky for us to reach out to the individual homeowners, like if they're home, we'll say something to them, but I think it would be better off to wait till all the services are ready and just do the connection, do kind of the authorization, kind of publication to all the people at the same time.
They've waited a couple of years, I think, and doing them all once, waiting a week or
Another
so
week
is not gonna be an issue. And it's just cleaner.
That's my
Anybody
interpretation
opposed
as
to
well.
that?
No, we were just hoping that within a week to 2, then you can
Yes.
give everybody's can,
Exactly.
we don't know, well, DJMs,
Well, they, again, so far,
so far, so far.
It's
Okay.
just a science question for those of you. Is it easier to bore through rock in the wintertime or in the summertime?
You guys, I prefer it in the summertime, I don't know.
It's a little easier on the borer.
it's a little easier on the workers. The machine doesn't care.
Well, I sort of figured if I meant as far as, is it easier to go through the rock when it's frozen versus when it's not?
We'll find out.
Well, right now, I don't think the ground is really
Frozen.
No, it's not frozen, and actually it's still pretty dry yet.
Yeah.
Especially up there, it's gonna be dry.
Okay,
So that's out on the water. On the culverts, the state did bring out the Bridge New York grant information just before Thanksgiving. So those grants are due January 13th. I'll continue to work with Mike to try to figure out what might be the best candidate. And then maybe, even for work session next week or the week after, well, not work session next week, but the 12th. Just have a little bit of time to discuss what would be the approach and what might be the potential there. And then we can start discussing if you guys want to go forward with a grant application for that.
good.
Make sense?
When are those due again? I forgot. I
Okay,
saw it.
so the culverts are due the 13th. Bridges are due the 20th. Looking at the town bridges, none of the town bridges are red flagged.
Right.
And the only way you're gonna get a bridge grant is if you have a red flag. Culvert grants are a little more kind of open to interpretation. And because we did the culvert assessment report, we may have a chance there.
So we have one very good candidate, you use the singular culvert.
You only can really, if you
Apply
apply
for
for, if you
Okay.
bring in more, it's gonna cause problems.
Right.
They're expecting you to say this.
This is the one, yeah. And when that's submitted by the 13th of January, then is it June when they decide? Or is that the customary,
Well-
4 to 5 months, or how do you?
I think the decision making will happen fairly quick.
Oh.
The question of when you would then potentially get everything else and funding and the usual stuff is always the big question.
Is that something then next year we wouldn't put the bid out until the year after? Is that the way it is, or you
No.
put the stuff out and get it going?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, okay, so 2023,
I think we put in for it. To determine which one we want to put in for it and see if we get it. Because we're up against. They're gonna have more applications than they have funding for.
Correct.
They always do, so
fine,
I think we're.
cross the bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, we're just a little bit ahead of the game.
Fall under the culvert.
Good questions, but maybe not for another month or so.
Yeah,
Okay, anything else, Scott?
No, it's
Okay, buildings, John.
Yes, in the library, I did actually meet with Christine today to talk about a few things. One is the ceiling of the brick, the exterior walls of the brick. That's where I think our leaks are coming from, because with all the snow and rain, it hasn't leaked anywhere. So I want to hold that off during, thank you, Don, for getting me the 3 numbers to contact on that. And probably go over the whole building as far as what's what. I mean, most of that building's glass, so we got a little bit of brickwork up front. The other issue might be that I noticed the alleyway, I think about 3-4 years ago, Don, maybe, or Dave. Didn't we have the whole alleyway painted, the block, I believe, on that building?
Yes, we did.
It's starting to blister in some spots again, so in the spring, I think that's be a good project to go over that building, the same with the denial pillars. In the spring, I'll get some quotes on getting them done. Also talked to Christine on, the fire alarm system. We haven't had any issues, so to speak, lately. So I asked her if she'd be able to, get that through a construction grant like we got for the HVAC, and she did, I think you're copied on that email, Dave. As far as moving ahead and applying for that grant next year to have, they have that alarm system done, it does qualify for it, so if we can get a grant for it, I think that's a better way to go than shelling out all the money.
Sounds good.
So. I believe that was it for the library.
The grant application for that, fire alarm, that county,
No, it'd be through, well, it's through the construction grant. I don't know if it's state or county, I think it's a
I
state,
think it's a state also, yes.
but either way, it's the same one we got the HVAC grant through, and we'll proceed to do that when the time comes up. Also, I will check on this now that I'll have extra time as far as, my workload on getting the backflow preventer repaired at the library. It's been dripping for a couple of years.
you won't have time or you
No, I
will?
do have.
You do have
time
time,
to it
thank
now,
you,
yeah.
okay.
I didn't think it was something that was urgent. Because it really, this is dripping, so we'll get that looked into.
Okay. Anything else?
No,
Grants, nothing at this point. I'm talking with Rotunda in the next couple of weeks and see what's on the horizon, because there will be some opportunities in January, February, and other areas.
Those grants are different from the culvert grant,
Yes.
so Rotundo isn't, not, you're doing that the Wendell times.
Yes,
Is that-
it's more of a technical grant,
Yeah.
so.
Okay,
They're handling that. Christine, thank her, has handled the ones at the library. I know, I've been in touch with them, but she's done with
Bulk of the work.
90% of the work. So, as long as we get them in. Okay. Highway, the only thing I have is, we got notification today that Dean Schultz is retiring as of January 27th.
long-time employee is,
So we just got that today, even though we know, Dean said
well, Mike had
what are
hinted at it.
yeah. So, there was another applicant Mike was gonna reach out to, and, we can put an ad in the paper, which I think we should, because we're gonna have other applicants or other ads for people that I'll share with you, and most of you got the letter, but we'll talk about that under other. That's all I have on highway at this point.
for highway, that ad would be separate from soliciting for the,
Correct.
okay.
The tentative joint meeting with the village is set for the 23rd. It's Monday. We're either in, I think, second. We're in a regular meeting that night. Carl's got back to me and said he would send a potential list of topics. So once we see them, we will see if we're gonna proceed. Organizational meeting for 2023, the first Monday is the 2nd. We usually have it the first Monday, so that'll be at 7 o'clock just before our work session. If that's all right with everybody, probably the next meeting get a motion and under new business that we'll have our meeting at that time, if that's okay with everybody. Okay, the last meeting, just a reminder of the year, is Thursday, the December 29th. We only have 2 regular meetings after tonight and 1 work session scheduled. So there's not a lot going on for the rest of the year.
Flew by.
Other items under, I'll call it miscellaneous. We received notification from, Sandra Petrowski. She's retiring. She gave 2 weeks' notice to the judges. I've talked to, an email with Dennis and in person with Dick. Also talked to Sandy, about it. They and Dick, said they have a couple options that they're gonna check out, but they'd also like us to put an ad in the paper, which Dick talked with Don today, I believe. And, we're gonna do that. They have reached out to Joy, and Joy wants to stay in her capacity. She doesn't want to work anything other.
In the request letter for the replacement, the specifications would be included in that
For
public
court
notice
clerk.
for the court.
Well, I don't know how detailed we're gonna get in specifications,
No,
yeah, but, I'm sure the judges will. You know.
okay. They'll determine for the interviews.
Right, in the past, when we've had the part-time, not Sandy, but from Joy and all that. Usually people only apply that know something about the court system.
If that were put in, it might make it easier for those.
Well, it'll be a court clerk, right?
Yeah, we'll
The headline will
advertise it
be
as a senior court
advertising
clerk.
Oh,
for.
It's not civil service then, is it?
No. I don't believe so.
So we don't have to go down that list. Then.
Yeah, it's a judge's appointment.
Okay.
So we'll help Dennis and Dick out any way we can with that.
Her last day is,
Hang on, I got it. 9th of December. The 9th of December.
so if any court needs to know after the 9th, does Joy sort of step in to help?
She will, and the judges, the 3 of them will handle it. I would. I think Joy handles most when both the girls were here. Joy handled, according to Dick this morning, handled most of the traffic speeding and all that, and Sandy had the more difficult cases. So, Dick said him and Dennis will just have to step up and help in the more difficult cases. I don't know how many of them we get, but you know, the chaos of the court system, the rules, you know, the bail and all that is just, it's a zoo.
Nightmare.
It's a zoo. You know, I've talked to a couple other judges and supervisors in other towns about the courts, and they go, oh my God, you know, just how they function. Yeah. As well as they do. So those are 2 exciting things, and if any board member wants to work in the court system, I'm sure.
After that promotional that you just had, does that sound reasonable?
You can work, yeah, you can work by yourself most of the time, so. Yeah,
And then the Dave DeYoung email also.
okay, yeah, yeah, and we knew that was coming, but I asked Dave to put it in writing, and Dave Young sent out today as dog control officer. He is no longer going to be, after a grand total of between working in the highway and dog control. He's been in the town for 44 years. And I don't think his health is this time. So we have 3 applicants, not 3 applicants, we have 3 people that have shown interest. 2 of them are our deputies. One is Dave's son and the other is Carissa. And then the 3rd person is this Christian Pasquale,
Yes,
and who has some background in it. So we have all 3 of those people have said they're interested in working dog
Who
control.
has to do the interview of the 3 potentials?
Well, the committee is John and Joe. Um. It'll be interesting getting, because I think Dave DeYoung, I'll call him Junior, but because I forgot what his middle name is. Andrew works days. Carissa has kids and but she's available some part in the days and the other gentleman is retired. So, I can get with John and Joe, or if they want another board member to step in to them. To talk to these 3 individuals. I've kept you abreast on some of the emails that I've had with Dave Young. As far as his opinion, which he was very good, because he really didn't give it. He sort of alluded to, but, he's got family involved, so trust me, I know how sticky that can be in there.
You might have to advertise for it. I mean, you're gonna have to have people who are available, right?
Well, between those 3, I mean, I know Don and I were talking about it. Between the 3 that we have, we wouldn't have someone available. You know, Dave or Andrew would be certainly in the evenings. This retired guy and Carissa would be in the daytime, you know. She might not be as free to get out depending on what her kid's schedule is versus the retired guy, but we need to talk to all 3 of them. And we certainly would like to do that within the next couple of weeks.
I'm pretty flexible right now as far as time
Mhm.
goes, so.
I only have evenings. I'm
Saturday.
booked and
it would
or
be on
Saturday.
So that would be posted in the Bugle, the opening or solicitation?
Well, I think we're
Or
gonna
it's
do
just
these
the-
first 3 to 4.
Review these first, because there's no sense of advertising. If we hire the 3 people that we have already, why would we advertise?
Well, it was sort of advertised
In
in
the-
the annual application
Yeah.
ad.
In fact, that's where the one guy responded.
Yes.
We've
So
advertised,
it publicly, been
Yeah, it
okay,
was.
fine.
you know, in that standard one that would go out.
Yeah, got
That's
it.
where we
Yeah.
got the one.
That covers it, it covers it. Got it.
But, I
Is
can
there
get with
usually-
a point, some Saturday, yeah. This Saturday would be probably too quick, but maybe next Saturday, which would be the 10th. I'll try to set them up, boom, 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 for you guys, if that's okay. Unless
Unless you got snow.
your only issue would be a snowstorm.
Yeah, the Saturday I can
Yeah.
move around it.
Yeah.
Unless
Okay.
I can't make it in.
Alrighty. We'll do that. Anything else under other? Okay, well,
The, the gas meter and things like that, up at the joint facility with the new metering. We get the numbers to send to the DEC in New York.
we'll get them at the end of the year, yeah, and send them out. Whatever they say. Yeah.
And then the issue with the others that may be on the line or whatever it was. We didn't get any further information on that.
No, we, probably need to go into executive session for that.
Yeah.
Okay, and we can do that now if you want.
Yeah, I move we go to executive session, I think also for the senior contract on the, what we sent out on the,
Oh, yeah, okay,
I got a question for Emily and
okay, motion made by,
Second,
Let you go first.
go into executive session.
7:12.
7:12.
So, hold on, let me turn the patio off.
We may